Who would have thought that something so simple would cause so much problems? By the end of this video, I'm going to have this 2012 GMC Yukon going. Whoa! It runs! It runs half decently for year-old fuel. We bought it not running. We fixed it for absolutely free with a little simple used part that I had laying around. The story I got from the seller was it started running rough the last time they had it going, then it quit, they couldn't get it going, they had no clue what was wrong with it, so I bought it as is. We're going to find out together what is exactly wrong. I think I already know. First thing we're going to do is pop the hood. We're going to check out the battery. We got no power. Well, that's probably a good chunk of the reason why it doesn't work and why when I boost it, it will not take power and it will not roll over. 1.8 volts in a 12 volt battery. That battery is junk. So we're going to switch the battery out. Another thing, this is the main fuse that goes to all the accessories. That nut's loose. You can see it moving. So when I boost it, I have to clamp that in with the booster cables. That fuse right there feeds all the accessories in this thing. If that's not getting good contact, that's going to throw a lot of things haywire. That's a stainless bolt. That's not even factory. Someone's replaced that. This connector's not in good shape either, so I'm just cleaning it at the same time. Might as well fix any future problems while we got the time. Socket would have been nicer than this wrench. Okay, this is for a light bar someone's added. We're going to get rid of that for now. We're not going to worry about that for now. Look at the corrosion on the back of that fuse. That's not going to help anything. I don't know if it's our problem, but it's not going to help. If you can see the green, it's going to cause problems in the future anyway. Fixing it now will solve some future headaches. That's a lot better. All the contacts are cleaned up. Crown. I don't use dielectric grease at all. I use Crown because it's non-conductive. You can use it on computer terminals. So I use it on all my wiring too. No sense doing two things at once. This works great for corrosion. So I spray everything. I assemble all the contacts with Crown on them. It's kind of a mess. And in between layers, I spray them. Snap that back on there to hold it. Where'd my other wire go? There it is. That one's not as clean as it could be. Now we just got to put the main stud back in. That actually gets power off the battery for the accessories. Okay. Now that we know we have good power going from the battery to the accessories to the fuse box to everything, we can change the battery out now. No sense starting with garbage connections. We've got a 10 mil on top of the battery. I think we're gonna have to take this brace out too. What size is that? The size I just put away. I'll be back. 1/2 inch or 13 mil. There really is nowhere to put nuts and bolts on this thing compared to some of the older vehicles. That wasn't even bolted down. Cool. Oh, and you see that bulge? That's bulged out like 1/2 inch. No wonder that wouldn't take a charge. That has frozen. Well frozen. It's only a 2022 battery too. This thing's been off the road for about a year, so I think the guy let the battery go dead. Since it was connected, the computer would have drained all the battery out. And then it froze last winter, and that's what wrecked the battery. Otherwise, the battery probably would have been half decent, especially when it's 3 years old. I just stole a battery out of something ahead, so terminals in the wrong sides, but I think we can get it to work, at least for testing, because this is out of the vehicle that I'm driving. Next, we're going to grab the computer and I'm going to plug it in, or the scanner, I guess. I'll plug it in and I'll show you the codes that are on it. I already looked at the codes when I bought it. So our two codes, 00109, lost communication with fuel pump control module. 00100, lost communication with the engine control module. So we're going to erase them because we might have fixed that. It was just that connection. Okay, same codes are back. Next thing. That's horribly annoying. Turns out I forgot to hit record. What I was doing was I went through the whole fuse panel and I checked out to see what fuses did what. I realized a fuel pump fuse was missing, so I actually have this spare fuse panel out of a scrap vehicle I just kept for the fuses in the storage trailer. Right down here is a 25. A little corroded, but in good shape. If this tiny little fuse fixes our problem, I'll be ecstatic. Let's try that again. If I get the key out of my pocket, that helps. Key in. Ignition on. Okay, we still got those two. So if we key on, do we have a fuel pump? Let's just try and start it. No fuel pump. Where's the fuel pump relay? Fuel pump relay. Are you kidding? This is the run start. This is the powertrain. Starter. AC compressor. Park lamp. Fuel pump relay? We're missing a fuel pump relay too? Or am I seeing this right? We're missing the fuel pump relay. Okay. I'll go grab one. That's gonna be a fuel pump issue, yep. Well, good news. I think that's the same relay. I'll check the codes. Nothing like used fuses, because great for diagnostics. It was easier to pull that fuse panel out of the scrap vehicle than it was to take every single fuse out. It was easier just to take the panel out and set it somewhere, and then you always have the fuses and you don't lose them. No. So which style of fuse is it supposed to be? Okay. So it's these little ones. So we don't need fog lamps that badly. Let's put fog lamps in there. Still have it. Does it crank? Well, that didn't fix it. What I am going to do is I'm going to pull the fuse box out. I'm going to clean everything because this corrosion could possibly be an issue under one of these fuses. Just in case. I've had problems with fuse boxes in the past with vehicles that would like shutter and shut off and stuff. So let's just start with the simple stuff. Make sure we got good connections. So you see me struggling. These terminals are actually supposed to stay in this fuse block. Some of them, like this one right here, and this one right here, are actually quite corroded. That's your main power into the fuse box. And on the back, we got some green. That's not gonna help anything. That's for sure. Well, I ended up completely disassembling the fuse panel. What I found inside was a lot of corrosion, but I also found one terminal that was loose. The FSCM terminal, which is one of our codes, aka fuel pump control module code. I cleaned the corrosion out and replaced this 25 amp fuse right here. This is the fuel pump control module fuse. It was snapped off and corroded. That might get rid of our check engine light. Before we can put our rebuilt fuse panel back in, we're gonna crown all the pins. Pretty sure this stuff is all just aftermarket because there's a trailer brake controller on there, so I'm pretty sure that's what these wires are. Okay. Let's hook up the battery again and see if our codes are gone or if all of our problems are solved. Which I hope they are. Whoa! Okay, it starts. I just wanted to try it. I didn't expect that to happen. So that fuel pump control module fuse that I fixed and replaced got it to fire up. It's literally running. It sounds like a hot rod because some kid cut the exhaust off it. See, that's the Cadillac converter. Let's see if it moves. We got good oil pressure. It's charging. We got a little bit of fuel. I just want to take the parking brake off. Okay. We've got brake pedal. It runs half decently for year-old fuel, so it doesn't run very well, and it stutters and spitters a little bit. It may need plugs, but the fuel is also year and a half old, so what do you expect? It runs. Our check engine light's also gone. Completely gone. We got an airbag light, but whatever. I got nothing to say, but wow. It needs a bit of work, that's for sure. After it's been running for a while, I think I smell coolant. It might need a heater core. I'm not 100% sure. Besides, it's all gonna need all the stuff for safety, the normal stuff, you know, brakes, all the stuff that's related to safety. I'll have to go over that. That's not the focus of this video. The focus of this video was just to get it running. It actually runs pretty decent considering the fuel is really stale. Otherwise, it actually runs really decently. Otherwise, project complete. Success. It literally didn't cost me anything because I had those fuses. Maybe it cost me $1 for that, for the crown. Depends on how you want to classify it. Otherwise, I didn't actually have to buy any parts. I completely fixed it for free with a little bit of labor. Thank you for watching, everybody. Have a good day.